this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors, and now here I am simply drawing with Everett, and welcome back to my studio. And if this is your first time in seeing this video, then give me a like and a subscribe to my channel, and you'll be notified of my next video. Give me a thumbs up. I like that. It helps my ratings. So today I'm going to do a drawing of a wave, a crashing wave, and I think you'll enjoy that. So let me go over to my drawing table and let me get started. Okay, well here's a crashing wave over here. You can see the picture, beautiful wave coming crashing over. You can see the large barrel of the wave, and then the crashing waves coming down. So we'll show you I'll show you how I draw that. So let me start out here with I've got an HB pencil here, a graphite. Let me just get the outline. The first thing I start with the curl of the wave, the main eye, and it's the shape of an egg. Really, it has a, depending on which angle you're looking at it, it has the shape of an egg shape. It's wider up here and it gets narrower as you come down here at the bottom. Okay, and then the wave starts to come out. You can see starts to flatten out here at the base, starts to flatten out, and along the curve, you got the wave coming off here, around. So that's kind of the circular, and then inside it gets like a barrel. You get the shape inside. I'll have more definition here in a few moments here. I just want to get the drawing started. Give me some outline, a little contour, a little gesture drawing here, just to get it started. And then the back part of the wave here it kind of trails off. The highest part is right here at the crest, right here where the splash is at the top. But it starts to curl up. The curl starts to go down a little bit. A little slope down. It has some foam on the top, and then the part here that's crashed over will be even further down. It's already coming down on this side, coming down, so that's going to have a slope on it also. And I might change that just a little bit, just get a little flatter, a little more action there. Now the actual splatter, well, the waveform, you've got the peak of it's right up here. And that's where you're going to have the biggest splash. Then it's going to come down along the edge. And then it hits the bottom. It's going to start splashing up. You can see the foam building up there. And then there's usually a wave on the other side where it starts to pick up. So I'll go ahead and put some of that in. Okay, so there's really the form of the wave here. And the bottom is over here. Okay, all right, put the pencil away. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my, this is a Fuda pen, which has a bent tip, a bent nib to it, but it gives me a nice way to control. So I'm going to use this as my guidance here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. What I'm going to do at the top here, I'm going to just put in the edge of that foam at the top of the wave, and I'm just making little dots, little marks here, just to indicate that there's movement here, coming down, and putting little dots in there to show the action of the wave. And the peak's up here, then it starts to slope down. It'll come down here, and it's splashing around. The wind also will be a factor here. But there'll be little areas where the wind has caught the edge of the wave. It'll bounce up, spray up, and so forth. This way I'll continue over here on this side, and then I'm going to go down. It'll be splashing up over here, and yeah, the photograph I'm using as a reference, but I'm really coming up with my own interpretation of that. Not trying to do all the details of the photograph, but to use my inspiration. And I'll put another part of the wave bouncing back up here, and then along the bottom here, where it starts to get flat, Okay. All right. Then the curl of the wave is really interesting. I'm going to do this very lightly now. Put in the curl of the wave. This would come around. It's going to curl, starting right here at the very top, and it's going to come down, and they all wind up here at the bottom flat. That's what's going to happen. And this one's going to curl. This is going to make another curl here, and these little curls get tighter and tighter as we go into the interior of the wave. These get tighter because you're working. It's like a barrel, a round shape, and they get tighter and tighter and tighter, all the way down to the bottom here. Okay. And the bottom of the wave. Now, as you come out this section of the wave, the curve gets flatter because the wave is standing up out here. It's not falling. It's not coming down as not turning much. It's still now it's getting rising up a little bit. These get a little bit flatter. They start to be a little more angular. Out here they start coming in a little bit more like this. Out here to the side they even get flatter. So I'm really trying to building the structure of the wave right now, and each part that's coming along here. Okay, let me bring it up close now. So you've got the curl of the wave, and then then this starts to be the flat side, which is standing up more, and it gets flatter as you go off to the side. And over here we've got a top. I want to put that in. And this is where it's curving over, so I'll go make little marks here, showing a little more action on the curve. And there'll be little like little lines or so forth, because the water's moving over here, coming down, it's crashing down. So this part of the wave over here, the water's falling. It's falling down. This part is raising up over here, and it's falling down on this side over here. Okay. Okay. Well, that's the basic structure of that. Now, let me take my pencil back, and I'm going to go ahead and put in some shading now. So I'll pick up this, and I'm going to. Now, the inside of the wave is the darkest, right around here, where the curl starts at the bottom here. Now all the way up it starts to, now I'm going to start shading some of this in so it has a little more definition now. Now curvular motion as I come around. A little more definition now. These parts of the wave, the inside wave, it curves all the way over like a barrel. And I come out here and get a little more. It's in shadow at the bottom. So as they come up, as it rise up, the sun's hitting this part where the light's getting there, so it's becoming a little lighter around the center. And then these sections here come down. And they get wider and wider as I move out to the right. And now down here at the bottom base of the wave, everything starts to flatten out now because we're getting into the where it's coming. The water's moving at the bottom, and there's little shadows now underneath the foam. I'll build little shadows here at the base of the foam, irregular. And then the foam itself has, I'm going to use the pencil here just to put in some dots, showing a little splatter, a little splash. Just using little dots and little dots here on the foam. And up on the foam here, I'll put some more dots. Okay. So there, as you can see, the more shading I put in here, it gets more dimension now. It starts to get three-dimensional. You can see inside the wave and outside, the curl here, it was just flattening out, and over here over on this side is crashing. It's turning, the water's falling on this side over here. It's crashing over. So I can start making a curve here. Give the indication that there's a falling, the water is falling this way, it's curling. You can see the motion of my hand, it kind of curl. And it might be a little more shaded down, a little more shadow down here next to the, as I get further at the bottom here, there's a little shadow around this foam down here. So I can just put some of that in. Even up at the top, it might be, there's going to be the way the water's coming over, and the light, the way the light's hitting the water there. There might be a little highlight across the wave. So I'll leave a little white paper showing to show a little highlight across the wave, the curl. There's a little shadow under here under the foam up here. Now the wave down, the water down here now is just going to start moving in curvular fashion. This is the foam that's moving forward from a previous wave. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show, this is my water pen. And what I did, I took a water pen, I had water in it, then I added a little bit of ink, waterproof ink. And what that gives me now, it gives me a mix that I can do a little more shading now than still with a pencil. So I'm going to take this water pen with ink in it, water and ink. It's been diluted, so I won't have real dark, but it'll be dark. The more layers I put on, so I'm gonna go in here now. I'm gonna add a little more value now to this shading. I could have used pencil, but I want to use the ink pen. That gives me a little more definition, possibly. And a little more control over the medium. I'm using the ink now in an ink pen and a water pen. Building up that little shadows. Now I can add a little more shadows now to the foam now. A little more shadow here. Break up this. What I'm doing is I'm subdividing and breaking up this area of foam into sections, little groupings of foam. There'll be a little shadow along the bottom, what I mentioned before, a little shadow at the bottom of the foam, along the edge of water. Now the water starts to get flat out here in the foreground. A little more shadows up here in the foam. Give a little dimension along here, a little dimension. Now I'm going to start building a little more value here. Just squeeze the bubble, squeeze the pen a little bit. Okay. All right, now I think I'll go back to my go back to my pencil here. Do some final texturing here. So I'm going to bring this shadow pattern down and build this up. I'll rub a little harder in here now with the there. This is going to be it's going to be the darkest part right there. A little shadow underneath the foam here. This curls up. This curls and they get flatter and flatter as I go out to the right. Get a little more shadow underneath the foam here. Now I can take my finger now and kind of go in here and just use that as my blender. What that does, it'll smooth out some of these pencil marks. Get a little more gradation here of the shadow. Even along here, to rub it, just go sideways, get that together. And come in here and get that bottom a little bit darker, a little shadow. And you start seeing the shape of the wave now. I'm beginning, the foam. The wave is crashing over. This part is the center of the wave right here, the eye. Then it starts to get flatter here, up, curving up, and over here it curves down because it's falling. The water is falling over, tumbling over, and the foam is bubbling up all around the place. I'll put the pencil, put a little more dots and dashes on here, little dots, showing that there's a little action here. Then you put a little more dots above here, so a little splatter and splashes. Okay. So that's my crashing wave. And we can put a little bit of coloring, not coloring, a little bit of shading in here, showing the foam. The foam is building up. There'll be some light and dark areas where you got the sand showing underneath the water, and then the white foam on top. So we can put a little bit of shading in there. So the water is moving down here, coming forward. Okay. So I think that does it. That does it for today. So that's my drawing of the crashing wave. Get a nice close up. Okay. Let's go to my main camera. Okay. That was a lot of fun. Drawing waves is also a good exercise in drawing. Observation, of course. Very important, and have some photographs. Waves don't last too long. You have to get a good photograph in order to capture the shape and the size. And you have to go where the waves are. The beach, go down to the beach and watch the waves fall as they develop. And take some photographs. Find photographs on the internet to give you ideas of the shapes and so forth. But study the movement of the water. And then you take your paper and with some pencil and paper. I used an ink pen a little bit today. And build that shape up and get the eye the way you like it. There's a little bit of light. There's a lightness in there because the sun is shining through the water behind, and it lightens the part of the wave up, and there's parts that are dark because they're in shadow. Okay, so that's a good exercise for drawing. And I'll be back again this week with another Simply Drawing with Everett. So you all join me, and if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments section below of this video, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. Subscribe to my channel, and you'll be notified of my next video. And on the weekend, I also do Anyone Can Draw with One Line Only. Comes out on Sundays, so you might enjoy that. So So until next week, you all stay safe and stay warm. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.